Happiness comes in many forms, and it's an emotion that we as humans always chase. For a biker, happiness is a ride. It's his or hers me time. It's that zone where issues and distractions of life blur. It can be done in isolation or group. It can be a short ride for chai or a long tour, but one emotion is omnipresent, and that is happiness. So when you ride more, you are happier. And as bikers, we always want to ride far, ride more, and explore. And that's exactly what I'm doing over here with KTM India and a bunch of adventure-hungry KTM owners. We are on an epic 1800-kilometer journey to Nepal. Right now, we are at the India-Nepal border getting our documents and permits done. So please join us as we commence this epic journey to explore the land of the Himalayas with the KTM 390 adventure. I find the concept of borders very intriguing. In theory, it's an imaginary line. There's nothing physical about it, and yet whenever you cross into a different country, you do feel something special. Although it was a hot day, the spirit among the riders was high as we made our way to Kathmandu, and our epic adventure in the land of the Himalayas had finally commenced. So day one of the ride was pretty exciting and we made it to Kathmandu. By the time we reached to Kathmandu, it was pretty late in the night. The thing was the initial 50 kilometers of road was in good condition, but later on the roads were in absolute terrible conditions because they are expanding the highway into 4 lanes. But this was a blessing in disguise because we could polish up our off-roading skills because the terrain is gonna get tougher. Today, luckily, it's a rest day. We are in Kathmandu, so we are gonna explore the city. Sadly, we don't have our own motorcycle with us. This is a display piece. Our motorcycle is in the service center getting prepped up for the ride tomorrow. So let's go and explore Kathmandu. Since our hotel was in Thamel, we decided to visit the Darbar Square, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It holds a special place among the Nepalese as the recent kings were crowned in grand ceremonies. The highlight for me was to witness the intricate details of Newari architecture, and the temples inside the complex are stunning. In the afternoon, we retired to the hotel to take some rest, and in the evening, we explored the Thamel market. It is a great place for shopping, especially mountaineering gear, and there are some interesting cafes too. We are heading to Pokhara. Now, we could have taken the highway and reached there quicker, but this is an adventure ride, so we are taking an off-road path, and the adventure starts with this epic suspension bridge. It's gonna be exciting. And the trail turned out to be a daunting one. It was our first encounter of proper off-road riding, and what a challenge it turned out to be. There were lots of tumbles, falls, and the riders were exhausted. This meant we had to shift to plan B, and by the time we reached Pokhara, it was pretty late in the night. Good morning viewers and welcome to beautiful Pokhara. Yes, we made it here and the ride was quite intriguing. First, we were supposed to take a trail to Manakamna, but sadly only a few riders could make the trail because it was very difficult. Which meant I, who had went to the top, had to again ride back and again join the group down. And this meant we lost a lot of time. It was later decided that we will take the highway to Pokhara. Now the highway to the Pokhara was quite beautiful till Gorkha land with beautiful mountain corners. But post that, the roads disappeared because again there's a lot of highway construction and it was a dust bowl with hardly any visibility. To make matters worse for us, we were riding behind as we had to shoot some footage, and that meant by the time we reached the hotel, it was 10 p.m. Anyways, today is a different day. We are heading to Kalopani and Leyte. Again, the ride has been divided into two groups. The group A will be taking a more hardcore trail, while group B will be taking it slightly easy with more highway focus. So which route will we take? It is decision time. While the riders were battered after the hard off-road trail, they showcased great spirit and opted for plan A, which meant we were gonna tackle the hardcore trails. And boy, was it a great call. The trails were challenging. Some riders fell, but none gave up. They shouldered on. And as we kept climbing, the views of the valleys kept on getting prettier. But the terrain was so challenging that the riders took a lot of time covering distance, and that meant the last section from Tatopani to Leyte had to be covered in the dark. This was going to be a challenging ride, and things could go wrong. So we have finally made our way to the foothills of the mighty Himalayas. Yesterday's ride was properly challenging. 90% of the ride was off-road. In the initial half, it was mighty trails. Now, I'm not a great off-road rider. It was very challenging for me, but luckily, I had great riders with me. The KTM riders gave us a lot of tips on how to tackle those things. Also, the credit goes to the bike. The KTM 390 Adventure did a good job on those rough roads. So, as you can see, I had a great time on that off-road trail. It is gonna be even more challenging, but we are excited. So let's ride. After having an arduous day, we decided to take the easy route to Jomson, and we were welcomed by some beautiful twisting tarmac. The riders had a ball of a time as the KTM 390 Adventure delighted us with its great handling prowess. And the riders were so happy that they also broke into an impromptu dance with a Nepalese crew during the lunch break. The tarmac though didn't last long, and we were back on the trails. But the riders were able to negotiate it easily, and by early evening, we were in Jomson. Finally, the D-Day arrived. It was the day we will be riding to Upper Mustang, and every rider was excited to say the least. It wasn't going to be an easy journey, but such was the zeal that it didn't matter. The whole ride was about steep climbing, and we were gaining altitude. It was taxing, but the snow-capped Himalayan range gave us beautiful company. The terrain was really tough as we encountered loose sand, rocky roads, and it was one bumpy ride. But we knew it would be all worth it as we closed in on Upper Mustang. Hello viewers, and welcome to the forbidden city of Lo Manthang. Now this city was made open to public only after 1992, and we are very lucky to be over here. Now Today's ride was all about climbing the mountains, and it was absolutely gorgeous to have the Himalayas for company. The landscape of this country is too good. The vistas are beautiful, and we also had a lot of rough terrains. But because we've been riding so much over the past few days, we have got acclimatized to it, and today's ride was a lot of fun. Now we are going to be staying back for the night over here, and tomorrow promises to be an exciting day because we have an adventure academy. So guys, we have finally made it to Upper Mustang, and as you can see, it is absolutely gorgeous, but it is very windy and chilly, as you can see. Today's agenda was about KTM Academy. This was KTM's highest academy ever conducted on the foothills of the Himalayas. The academy included 3 hill climbs. Sadly, we could only do because yesterday night it had snowed and it wasn't too safe for the riders. Now, the first hill climb also looked very difficult, but then again we had the KTM expert riders with us. They guided us about the body posture, about throttle control, and we made it through, although it looked very difficult. While going on top was difficult, while coming down it seemed even harder. Again, they showed us the body posture, how to use your brakes and throttle control, and gladly everybody made it through. And everybody is feeling confident because their riding skills have improved. Now we are taking a break before we head to the hotel. As we all went for dinner, the riders were overjoyed and the atmosphere was euphoric. If that wasn't enough, it snowed at night to make the occasion unforgettable. And just like that, 10 days have turned into a blur, and the KTM ProXP adventure ride to Upper Mustang has come to an end. The highlight of this ride was the trails that we took to explore this absolutely gorgeous country. The trails were equally challenging, but I'm pretty sure they were equally rewarding. The highlight of the ride for me was that we avoided tarmac like a plague. That meant we had to take some arduous trails. It was very challenging, but then we had the KTM expert riders to give us tips. Now, I'm not a great off-road rider, but all these tips helped me and improved my riding skills over the past 10 days, and I'm pretty sure that's the same case for the riders as well. The other highlight for me was the riders themselves. Each individual is so different, but the common thread was the love for motorcycles and adventure. Now you guys might be wondering, how did the KTM 390 Adventure perform? And the simple answer is, it is pretty good. The riding posture is very comfortable and it is very spacious. Also for styling, this motorcycle is good. But the highlight of this motorcycle is its engine. There is so much firepower that even on the steepest of inclines, all you need to do is just go on the gas and the motorcycle will chug. Having said that, there are some issues. For example, the stock headlight isn't too bright, and more importantly, the suspension. If it had got more travel, the ride would have been so much more comfortable. The only issue that I faced in this ride was a slightly bent front wheel. We added a tube, and post that we had no puncture or any other issues. The fact that we did the Upper Mustang tour in a standard motorcycle is testament of the adventure quotient of the 390 Adventure. Another special mention goes to the KTM crew who burn the midnight oil every night to make sure our motorcycles in perfect condition to take on the ride. I've always mentioned that the ride to Spiti and Leh is absolutely gorgeous, but it has lost its adventure quotient. So if you're an adventure junkie who wants to challenge yourself and wants to have a ball of a time, the KTM ProXP Adventure to Upper Mustang is the right ride for you.